podcast. Today we're doing a bit of a different episode. We're deciding our England squad for the Euros and our starting 11 for the first game against Croatia. Saw Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher do this, so thought I'd get my equivalent of Bud and Connell on.
A better version, basically.
Yeah, the next best thing, pretty much.
Right, so I thought we'd start with goalkeepers. So, Bud, you go first. Who have you chosen as your three goalies?
I think we've all gone from the same. I think anyone will go for the same. I've got Nick Pope, Jordan Pickford, and Dean Henderson. I think for anyone, that's really the three keepers you'd definitely go for.
Connell, you got the same?
Yeah, the exact same.
Yeah.
All very similar level, I feel.
Yeah.
I think they're all sort of, I wouldn't say that number one spot sort of up for grabs. I'd say it's up for grabs. I wouldn't say anyone's really sort of put themselves really forward for it.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. I think that they're all at I think they're all at the same level of quality at the minute.
Yeah, and I don't think there's really anyone else. Maybe Sam Johnston's had a fairly good season, but I don't think he's better than those three at all.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think it's more a matter of making more saves, to be honest. He just looks a bit better because he's getting more to do.
Yeah.
Like Pickford at Sunderland, for example. He was incredible there, wasn't
he? Yeah.
I think we could argue about the cycling GK, maybe. Yeah, get him. No,
I'm in for the GoPro in the goal. All right, so I think goalies is pretty straightforward. I'd say that's probably the easiest part.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We'll go on to defenders. I'll start with mine and then we'll sort of go through your two and pick a defence. So I've gone for my centre-backs as Stones, Maguire, and I didn't really know about the third one. I put down Mings, Cody, Dunk, Konza, crossed them all out and put a bit of a wild card to Tomori after he moved to Milan. I think he's done quite well with what I've seen, but probably get slated for that. Then left backs, I've gone Luke Shaw and Chilwell. Then I've actually picked three right backs, which is a bit of a weird decision, but I will explain it. I've gone Walker, Trent, and Reece James.
I've pretty much done the exact same, especially with the right backs. I'm identical. I think the only difference I've got is I've got Keane and Duncan ahead of Tomori in the other centre back. You said.
Oh yeah, Keane. I didn't even think of Keane.
Yeah. I think Keane's been overlooked massively. I think he got injured towards the end of last season. I think came back and looked pretty good, and then same again this season. He's been injured for a while.
Yeah,
and I think it's a big loss for Everton. Definitely, I just think he's solid, to be honest. I think he's got a bit of everything.
I think another player put down who's a shout is maybe Tarkowski or Ben Mee. Had fairly good seasons.
Oh yeah, I think it's a low block for me, and everyone bangs on about nowadays. Like they just sit so far back. It's like it's so different. Like until they come out and play a higher line. It's like against Southampton, they got torn apart as well. I don't think they're the ones for me personally.
Yeah, Bob, what centre backs have you got?
I've gone for I think for everyone the two is obviously John Stones and Maguire, but I think that third is always going to be it's like everyone's going to have a different opinion. I've gone I've gone for Cody. I think this season he hasn't played that well this season. I mean, Wolves haven't done the best, but I feel like he is a good centre half, to be fair. But it's always going to be a toss up between there's five you can pick, and I think Joe for you with Tomori, I think it's a good choice, but I think more people they just sway towards like a Premier League defender is playing week in week out. But Tomori's definitely got the quality. He's still young, and even against like Man United in the Europa League, he played really well as well. But
he's one for the future for sure. Give it a few years, and he'll definitely be in the mix.
Yeah, I feel like if he does come back to Chelsea and like pretty much plays most of the season, then I can definitely see him for the World Cup coming up. He'll be a good fit. But for now, I think it's always a toss up between these Prem centre backs. So like Keane, Cody, Dunk, Mings. There's loads to pick for.
The thing that swayed it to Tomori for me is that he's played in a different league this season, which might help in Euros, like against different types of players. I don't know if that makes sense, but
last season as well under Lampard, he did play loads of games. Played in the Champions League, obviously got fourth with us, and he was playing very well. But he got dropped near the back end of the season.
I just feel that the level from the Serie A to the Premier League is massive.
Yeah,
if you see Kane go to the Serie A, he bags 30 goals already by now. He's got 19 now. I think there's just the centre backs in general in the Premier League, not just the English ones, are just a bit better for me. I think Tomori would struggle to get into like a Leicester or an Everton or someone like that.
Yeah, no, I think that third centre back is probably that biggest position, probably I'd say the weakest position in the squad.
Yeah, I think it's always
that or centre midfield for me. I think is the two that we're struggling in at the moment.
Yeah.
Personally,
I've got my right backs. I went for James. I also went for Kieran Trippier. I think I just really don't rate Arnold at all. I just think he's awful defender. I think with Kieran Trippier as well, he just brings something a bit different, bit experience, and just he knows what to do. Can play the basics, and especially in like a back five, which Southgate probably most likely to do. He knows he's been to a World Cup. He knows what he can do there.
Surely rather Trent in the back five though. Surely no defending, whipping in them crosses.
I think in the back five though, definitely Reece James. Definitely Reece James. I think he's just got more defensive side to him than Trent. I just think Trent's just absolute awful. But
you can't deny his passing ability though. Surely you have to bring him just on that alone. In my opinion, he's a better Trippier. I don't think Trippier's particularly amazing at defending, but
I don't rate Trippier. The reason I went for Walker was because Walker's played quite well this season, and he can play centre back if it comes to it. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. That's why I didn't put that's why I put 3 right backs like you did. He's more than just a centre back in here, especially when you look at 5 at the back as well, 3 at the back. Yeah. If Southgate wants to do that in a game, you can just slot straight into that right centre back.
Yeah, for me, I know Trent's had a bad season, and he's played bad this season, but I just think he's such a good option for like whipping balls in. If we're losing, I think his delivery's still,
especially when you need to win a game against a slightly worse team with weaker wingers. He's perfect for me. Like Czech Republic, for example. Don't know who plays that wide for them.
What's I going to say? Reece James can offer that as well, though, and he can offer more defensively. So that's why I
Reece James ain't got what Trent's got though.
Reece James not as good, but he can still whip in a naughty.
No, he's a good player. I'd have him second choice right back, but I just think Trent going forward is something else. Like he's just special, isn't he?
I'm happy with Reece James, but Trippier should be nowhere neer that squad in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I have to agree with Joey. I don't know why you've gone Trippier. I don't think he's any good at all.
I'm a bit biased because I absolutely hate him. I just think he's rubbish.
He's been injured a lot this season as well, hasn't he?
He might need a bit now. He's just been banned, hasn't he?
Is that what it was? Oh yeah, no, he was banned for the I completely forgot about the gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, after he scored that own goal against Chelsea, I never want to see him team I'm supporting ever again.
It wasn't just that though. He was genuinely very shady before he left you at defending in general, like 1v1 and stuff.
Yeah, he used to duck under the ball.
It's annoying because I wouldn't mind him if he got picked in. I wouldn't be like, oh, blah, blah. I just feel like if you were Southgate, and I know what Southgate's like, you'll come to that squad and you'll see him there. And you'll see him there as long as Eric Dyer at the centre back as well. You just know it. And against Croatia, you know it'll be a 5 at the back. It's hard. I think defenders is a hard choice as well. There's so much quality, even on the left side as well. I think
the left side's easy in terms of who's going. You've got Shaw and Chilwell.
With going,
there's nobody else that you could really pick there. Yeah, Bertrand maybe is anyone I can think of.
So that's it. Too far.
We all agreed on Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Chilwell. That's 4.
Yeah, 100%. Them 4 are definitely in. They're on the plane. They're going.
We need eight defenders really. So we've got
Walker.
We all agreed.
I think Walker's dead, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need 3 more defenders. So we need 1 more right back, maybe 2, and then 1 or 2 centre backs.
I think because, like you said, we are so weak in centre back. You've got to take Trent and James for me because there's no one at centre back you can really take that can cover better than Walker can anyway.
So we all in agreement: Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Chilwell, Walker, Trent, James.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
And then we need another centre back, don't we?
Yeah, centre back. I reckon. But
this could be anyone. This could be absolutely anyone.
This could be anyone.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's between Keane or Cody, but you might think differently.
Personally, I do not trust Cody defensively. His passing is out this world. It's incredible. His attacking's all right. Like, he's got a few goals this season, but I just think like at the back, if you trust him in those defensive moments and crucial moments, like you look at Croatia in the World Cup when Stone switched off and people like that. I do not trust Coady at all in that position. Right?
Yeah.
I'd much more trust a Keane or a Dunk, to be honest, just to defend it better.
I think you've also got to look at it like who can play in different back four, back three, who would be a good squad member. If someone like this player is going to pretty much, unless there's an injury, be on the bench most games. So who's better at coming on with 10 minutes to go and defending the lead sort of thing?
Yeah, it's so hard.
It's kind of who we're going to say. I think Keane gets the deciding vote. I think.
Yeah, I reckon Keane
played well for Everton.
I mean, I think Coady's a good player. Like, if you two want to put him in, then go for it. But I just think them big moments, I think he'll be useless, to be honest. He can't even do it in the Premier League for Wolves.
I think Keane, because he's played bigger games with Everton, so he's more used to that sort of pressure. Whereas Coady,
I just think he's the better all-round centre back out of him, Mings and Coady. He's a more trustworthy one for me.
So that's our defenders and goalies decided. Midfield, I'll go first. I've gone with Rice, Henderson, Mount, Foden, Bellingham, and Lingard.
That's exactly the same. Literally exactly the same for me.
Yeah, I've got them in different places. Like, I think a couple of them you just named are an attack for me and stuff like that.
Okay, so we'll put Foden, Mount in midfield just because they can play a bit deeper.
Yeah, I think Mount definitely is.
Yeah, if any of you got any players instead that you would put in?
I think it's hard.
Go on, you go.
I think it was hard for me because obviously it's Jude Bellingham. Obviously he's only 17. He is class. Don't get me wrong, but throwing him straight into the Euros when you got like the likes of like Calvin Phillips who could play a bit more defensive as well. I mean,
but do you need Calvin Phillips, Henderson, and Rice?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. That's why Bellingham can offer a bit more in a number 8 and also as a number 10 as well. But then I was also thinking about Maddison. I know he's been injured and he's like just coming back now, but if he kicks on now towards the end of the season, do you think he might get on there? Because it's a hard one.
I think
the thing is about Maddison, he's my third choice kind of number 10. If you like, if I'm thinking of all the number 10s that can play there, if you want to play one. You've got Grealish, you've got Foden. Mount can do it. I just wouldn't have Maddison as, third or fourth choice, really. I don't think he quite makes it for me.
I think that's just the issue. Maddison's only really, I might be wrong, but I've only really seen him play as a number 10. I haven't seen him play really wide.
I've seen him play out wide a couple times, I think, in the early Rodgers days, or maybe before Rodgers was there. He played out wide. But...
And for me, he's the worst out of Mount, Foden, and Grealish and him, and I think
I agree.
I do agree. I didn't leave him out because I was tossing him up between the others, and he was the worst.
And it does seem harsh because Bellingham hasn't done as much as Maddison this season from what I've seen, but I just think for like a 17-year-old kid round the place, that he'll just buzzing that he's there.
When I've watched Dortmund as well, Bellingham's been a bit deeper than Maddison is, and that's the sort of player you need a box to box more than a Maddison in his team for sure.
Yeah,
and Bellingham played a bit deeper.
He can play. I think because he said me and Bob were talking about this yesterday. He's number 22 because he can play 4, 6, and 8. He can play all over midfield. So I think, and he's like again similar to Mori. He's played in a different league. Like I think he brings something a bit different to Maddison. I think
it's weird. He like watching like him in the Champions League. He already just looks so comfortable. Like last night, he played unreal last night. Obviously unlucky to not get a goal, but he just looks so comfortable. And I think it's just always good to have a player like that who can play in these 3 different positions in the midfield, just in case there's an injury or something.
The closest
something goes
comparison
on.
To Bellingham for me, if you're looking at the Premier League, is Ward-Prowse in the sense that there's not many box-to-box midfielders. Mount's the only one I can think of off the top of my head that can do that. And then you've got Ward-Prowse, who is a bit more box-to-box than Calvin Phillips. And for me, Bellingham's better than Ward-Prowse. Just take out the set pieces, and Bellingham's just offers so much more than players like that.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Like you said, when you're that calm in the Champions League quarter-final at 17, I don't think he'd have any worries about getting chucked in the Euros.
It's also looking forward as well, isn't it? Like, it's good experience for him to bring him. Even if he doesn't get a game, it's still good to have him there.
Yeah, I think even from himself, I think he would obviously be disappointed if he I think if he did go, he would play a few minutes. But I feel like he wouldn't be disappointed going there and not getting the amount of game time he wants because he is only 17. So yeah, as you
How
said,
many
it is good
midfielders are
for
we
him
going
just to
then?
go.
5, 6, 7.
6.
That's 6 midfielders.
So I'm getting Henderson, Rice, and Mount are definitely all in midfield.
Yeah.
The 3 bankers.
They're the 3 bankers, and then I'd say I'm trying to think of who else could maybe have.
I'm thinking Lingard. Lingard at the minute has to be there because he just brings vibes as well.
But
and he's just so good at the minute.
There's been a lot of conversation about like should Lingard go. For me, when someone's on that good form, you can't leave. Like, why would you leave him out? He's going.
But look at Maddison though. You said about Maddison earlier. Well, Lingard falls into that same category for me. He's the third choice cam.
I
feel like it's
bad. Maddison's had a bad last couple months with injuries. I know it's not his fault, but the way I'm saying, if he keeps it going into the Euros, like he's just gonna be full of confidence.
Yeah, I feel like only time will tell. I think if now Maddison's back, is he going to kick on straight away, and is Lingard just going to keep on performing as he does because he's doing it week in week out at the minute.
And for me,
such a hard one, isn't it?
The way Lingard plays, he like runs into space against teams like Croatia. We're probably not going to have that much of the ball. So when on counter attacks, I just think him running at defenders would just work.
Yeah.
If you think England experience as well, like Lingard's got that edge as well. Like Maddison's played how many games for England? Has he got a cap? I think he did, didn't he?
1 or 2.
Yeah, he's
World Cup when England
exactly. Lingard's got much more.
Yeah, and
a bit older.
Lingard scores big goals as well, like scored in the World Cup, FA Cup final. Like
I think because I got 5 midfielders in mine, I didn't even put him in, but I'd be happy to put him in for sure if we're having 6 midfielders.
I think he's much more of a goal scorer than the others as well. Like if you look at those midfielders, I think Lingard's, I might be wrong, but probably got the most goals out of them this season. I know Mount can score, but he does play a bit deeper.
Yeah. No, yeah. I feel like so we got 6 and then we all set on. So Rice, Mount, Henderson are just set in stone. They're on the plane.
Yeah.
We saying Bellingham then after speaking about him.
Yeah, I would say Bellingham.
I'd happily say Bellingham. I think he gets the edge over Ward-Prowse and Calvin Phillips and me.
Yeah, I think.
Connor, did you put?
It's harsh on.
Did you put Foden? Oh, sorry, there you go.
No, sorry, but go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, Connor, did you put Foden as a forward?
I put Foden as like a kind of reserve winger on either side. And
okay, yeah.
I had Grealish in the midfield because for me, Grealish for Villa plays he plays on the left wing, doesn't he? I think when you play 3-3, that's quite similar to that left centre mid spot. If you have Mount on the right, you can push on and go towards that left hand side.
Well, I'm guessing we're going to have Sergio. You go.
Can we put Foden as the midfield and just Grealish as the forward, just for the sake?
Yeah,
they're both in, aren't they?
They're both in then. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
same with everyone.
I think it's harsh on like Phillips and Ward-Prowse because they've done well whenever they've played for England, but I just think they haven't got the same quality as the rest.
Yeah. I think Phillips is very unlucky because Henderson and Rice play the exact same position. The exact same. All 3 of them play the same position.
Yeah.
Phillips is the weakest out of the 3 because Mount and Henderson are just that talented. Like,
if Henderson's injured, then I'll definitely take Phillips.
Yeah, he has to go 100%. Yeah.
I feel like Henderson's
been so good this season. There's no hiding that.
Henderson can also play a bit deep as well. He can play the number 8 as well. Like his range of passing is unreal.
Henderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We're that weak there.
That is true. It is true. I mean, it's always even obviously he can go as a midfielder, but that would also like as a very very unlikely backup, he can always go back to the centre.
And like I said, he's not bad going forward. Like some of the goals he scored recently, like he scored one against Brighton, that he scored a banger against us. Like he can go forward as well. He's not just a senior.
Yeah.
I feel like for Liverpool as well, it's like Fabinho does that more defensive kind of role when they have a full fit team.
He goes forward a bit
and he
more,
plays a little bit forward. Yeah.
And I think Henderson's like the second captain as well. He's like him and Kane are like the 2 captains in a way. So I think he's just good to have around as well.
Definitely, like he's experienced winning trophies as well, which not many Englishmen can say. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to think
he's a good player.
Leaving out any other midfielders who sort of go in the discussion, but I don't think I can really think of
I think we named them all. I think it's just Lingard, Ward-Prowse, Maddison, Phillips. You got to pick one of them, really, don't you? You can add Grealish and Foden to that, but we've already got Foden in the midfield now.
Yeah. So are we saying Rice, Henderson, Mount, bankers, Bellingham's the 4th one, Lingard and Foden?
I think you're being very nice to Lingard. I think it might just be a purple patch, but yeah, I'm happy to put him in for sure.
I feel like it's one of them ones that, as I said, like he just wait to the end of the season. If he keeps on performing, then he has to go.
Yeah, it's definitely wait and see because Maddison.
I mean, I think with Lingard, I think like obviously not playing for United, everyone was kind of just writing him off, but like he always had that talent. He always was like when on his day he was very good. So
he's been nothing but incredible since he's come to West Ham.
Even if he don't play that well towards the back end of the season, I feel even if he did go, he can still turn up in them big games and score the big goals.
I think I was saying the other day, like if Dele Alli had done what Lingard had done and gone to a different club, maybe he would be in the talk.
Yeah, it's not a bad point. Yeah,
like he did.
It's funny now how like literally Ali's like so far away from that England team. Like,
yeah, he can't even get in the Spurs team, so I doubt he's going to get in that England team.
Yeah, it's like we've done it. It's our 6, yeah.
So 6, and I'd say 5 plus Lingard, Maddison's like. I'd say it's
question marks.
Depending on 8 games of the season.
Oh, I've just realised why I've left out Lingard, and I'll tell you why I'm against the attackers. I see what I've done.
There you go.
It's not that different, but.
So we're going 5 bankers, and then I'm saying Lingard for now, but
it's better for now.
Last 8 games of the season.
No, that's decent.
All right, well, Connell, you start with the forwards then, as you said, you got a reason.
Yeah, I had 6 forwards, so I had Foden further forward, and I had Grealish in the midfield, so that's why I didn't have Lingard there.
Okay.
And so I swapped Foden for Grealish sort of thing. I had one missing, and I've had two backup wingers, a backup striker, and then the main front 3. So obviously Kane, Rashford, Sterling are the 3 that I start personally, but they're the ones I think are bankers to go. And obviously we're putting Grealish there, so Grealish has got to go as well because he's just different. He's unbelievable for me. And then I had DCL and Sancho as the backup kind of attackers for me. And we have to leave one of them out, I think, because we've only got 5 attackers, whereas I had 6. So
I've got 6 attackers.
I've got 6 attackers.
Can you have 6 attackers and 6? Oh, maybe I have one too many defenders. I don't know what I've done.
We've got 8 defenders.
Didn't you put like a slash on dunk? You put someone /dunk. Maybe that's
I might have counted it by accident. I don't know what I've done. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. No, I think I do have 23. I don't know. I
feel like for the forwards, I feel like it's like I feel with the forwards, everyone's mostly going to have the same part. It's like the defenders. There's this one spot that is just going to be tossed around.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I personally think.
Yeah.
So, Joe? Who's yours? Attackers, forwards.
So I'll go my 4 bankers, same as Connell: Kane, Sterling, Grealish, Rashford, as my 4 main attackers forwards. And then
my 5th is Sancho. I guess yours Sancho as well.
Yeah, I've gone Sancho as well.
I've got Sancho, yeah.
I think he's quality and he can play right, left, number 10.
Just such a good sub for me. Like the energy he has, it's just something different. Skill.
Yeah.
And then my backup striker, I've gone quite bold with this. I'm a big fan of Danny Ings. I've put Danny Ings back up. I'm a Danny Ings massive fan. I think he can play up front with Kane. He can play on his own. He scores goals. I just think I like Calvert-Lewin, but I just think he's quite similar to Kane, and his finishing is not amazing. So I would personally take Ings.
I definitely agree with you in the sense that I don't think Calvert-Lewin's finishing has been particularly good this season. I remember Everton started the season on fire and he was getting so many chances. And then now they've sort of been starting to get a bit less chances, more half chances. His goals have fallen away a bit. And he missed a hat-trick of good chances against Palace the other week and the other day even. I definitely agree with that. But for me, it's just a reliability thing of things. He's got paper mache knees. Like, you just can't trust the man. And he's never really been tested at the highest level. Like, he went to Liverpool, obviously, didn't really work out. Never got any Champions League games or anything. I know DCL hasn't, but I don't know. I think as if you're looking at a sub as well, because obviously Kane's going to start every game, and Southgate would never play 2 up front. I don't think he ever has for England. So you got to think of off the bench. And for me, DCL off the bench is just, he'd be a handful in the last few minutes for a team like Czech Republic or something, or Croatia. Just so big and powerful.
I think
that's the only reason I have him above him.
I'm just a big Ings fan.
Yeah, I don't see Ings doing a lot when he comes on, to be honest, against like bigger teams.
What you just said there, like you need a player plays for scores goals, plays for a big club, plays Champions League games, and there's only one man for the job. And
I'm not even going to argue with this.
I'm sorry, but he has to go. He does provide something different as well alongside Kane. I mean, he's done it for 2 seasons now. He scored over 15 goals 2 seasons. He's scoring in the Champions League. He has to go.
He doesn't get in the Chelsea squad. He does not get in the Chelsea squad.
That's the thing. He's been injured recently. I think he's not all this lanky and all this blah blah blah. No, he's actually good on the ball. That's the thing as well. When you watch him in the games, he's good on the ball. He likes to hold it up, and he does offer that something different.
Just hand on heart. Tell me right now why Tammy Abraham is better than Calvert-Lewin. Why he's better than Calvert-Lewin? Just Calvert-Lewin.
Abraham can finish the ball. That's the thing.
So can Calvert-Lewin.
Calvert-Lewin, he can, but it's literally he's a 1-season wonder. He's doing it for Everton. Blah blah blah.
And Tammy Abraham wasn't last season. And Tammy Abraham wasn't a 1-season wonder.
He scored 17 goals last season, and he scored 16 goals in all competitions this season. He's in the Champions League quarter-final. We'll wait till tonight, and he'll score 2. All I'm saying. And I'll tell you now, everyone hates him, doubts him, whatever, but I think he's absolute quality.
I don't hate him. I just don't think he's better than Ings and Calvert-Lewin.
He's good on the ball. He's good with his feet. And I just think as a backup, bring him on. I think he'll be dangerous.
Bud, I've got one stat to reel off, and I think it just the conversation. Goals this season, Calvert-Lewin 14, Tammy Abraham 6.
Yes, but that's in the Premier League. We need a little all competitions. And how many goals has Calvert-Lewin scored in the Champions League? Same with Kane. None. This man, I'm telling you now, 2? He's good for the squad as well. He's good for the squad. He's friends with everyone. I think he's perfect. He is perfect. I just think.
For me, if Abraham was back at Swansea in the lower ends of the Premier League, you wouldn't notice the difference between him.
But he's not, because his quality is that good. He shines through, and that's why he scores these big goals against Arsenal, hat-tricks against Wolves. Oh, he's just, I think
last season when he was on fire.
It seems biased. It seems like I'm taking the piss, but I generally feel like Tammy Abraham is on that plane.
But if he
I'll stick by my decision.
If he can't get in the Chelsea squad, why does he deserve to be in the England squad?
No.
Also, England have a better attack than Chelsea.
Yeah.
Tuchel likes to play different ways. He likes playing Werner up front, even though Werner's a winger. And when Abraham does play, he provides. I'm saying this now. He's going.
Played for months.
No, he's been injured. He has an ankle injury. He got left out of the squad for the last 2 weeks, but he's in the Champions League squad because that's where he's best.
We'll see if he plays.
For me, Abraham's England's 6th best striker. I think 5th or 6th best striker.
I just think like everyone writes him off, and I feel like just when he goes on the plane against Croatia, scores the last minute, the whole nation chanting Tammy Abraham.
I'd rather Callum Wilson. I'd rather Callum Wilson. I'd rather Jamie Vardy came back out of retirement. I'd rather Glenn Murray came back out of retirement.
If I had 12 forwards, I wouldn't take Abraham.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't touch him with a barge pole, mate. I wouldn't go near him.
I think you'll be surprised how many people agree with me here.
Greenwood.
How many Chelsea fans agree with you? Yeah.
Joe, do a poll on the podcast after when you post this. Okay. And we'll see.
All right. We'll leave that argument now, and we'll see what the poll says. Because
sadly, you're outnumbered though. Okay. So in this squad, he's not making it. No way. Nowhere near.
Okay.
And then for me, I think Rashford's a good option because he plays left and up front, and he's quite good. He plays well for England.
Big game player as well for me. Like you look at the Champions League games he's played against PSG and stuff. He just always turns up in those big games.
For me, Grealish can play left 10. I just think what a player. Probably in my opinion, along with Kane, England's probably best player.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he's back from injury. But before he got injured, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I've been saying it for years, and I kind of when like Brian in the Championship around knockout Grealish and all this. He's just unbelievable.
He was always a special talent, even when he dropped down a league. Yeah,
he was unbelievable.
Very good.
Yeah.
I think the forwards is quite easy, and the fact that it's like there's five set in stone. I think Kane, Rashford, Grealish, Sterling, and Sancho. I feel like for most people there. That's
then you need that backup striker. So
I feel like that in each like forwards, defenders and midfielders. There's always that one position where it's literally just going to be like whatever Southgate wants, then that's it. Like,
so basically,
it's
Joe's
be
saying
so
Ings,
hard.
I'm saying DCL. So it's up to you, bud. Who you prefer out of DCL and Danny Ings, and he'll go in. You got the final call.
All I'm saying just before that, I'm saying Tammy Abraham. But if I had to pick the two, I'll go for Calvert. I will go for Calvert.
Right,
Yeah, I'd agree.
Go Kane, Ings, Rashford, Sterling, Grealish, Sancho. So that wraps up our squad as Pope, Pickford, Henderson, Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Chilwell, Walker, Trent, Reece James, Michael Keane, Rice, Henderson, Mount, Foden, Bellingham, Lingard, Kane, Ings, sorry, not Ings, Kane, Calvert-Lewin, Rashford, Sterling, Sancho, and Grealish.
That's a good team. That is a good team.
I think so. I just wanted to, before we move on to players we missed, talk about. So we talked about most of forwards there, other than Kane. Really, do you think he can carry on his form from this season? Obviously, top goal scorer, top assist. I think he's just been unreal this season. Do you think he can carry it into the Euros?
Yeah, I think, of course. I mean, literally what happened in the World Cup, like he had an injury the season leading up to it, but he bounced back from that. Was playing unreal that season, and when I got the Golden Boot in the World Cup that year, so I don't see any issues with him. I think he's just going to carry on to just score bundles of goals again.
He's the best striker in the world for me. He can do it any club, any league, at any occasion. He'll still score. Like, he's just incredible for me.
Type of football as well. Like, we've played attacking, defensive this season, and he's still scored.
Yeah, exactly.
I think for me, this is his best season. Like, his assists is just ridiculous for a striker to have that many assists and goals. I just think he's been.
I feel like
this for England as well, because like you said, the amount of assists he has. You look at the wingers around him and the players around him. If he's just slotting people like Rashford and Sterling through the way he has been to Son and players like that,
yeah,
I think
Grealish and that a lot. Like, it was good.
He's been quality, of course, like for how many years. But I think this season's really showing like he can like change a game from absolutely not like nothing. Like now, like getting all these assists, like the game would just be dead, and he can pick out like a 40-yard pass into Son or ping one in from like 30 yards. Like I think like now he's like you wouldn't say he's like playing deeper, but he's dropping deeper. He wants the ball more, and then when you have Son just running in behind, I think like he's literally changing games.
It'll be the same with Sterling as well. It's going to be
exactly
100%. Yeah, and like considering Spurs haven't been great this season, to still keep up those numbers, I think it's class.
I mean, it just depends what is like going to happen. Like with obviously him at Tottenham towards the end of the season, like if he stays before the Euros or if there's talks of him leaving. Like
personally, I think he'll sign a new deal in the summer. Personally, because I don't think anyone can really afford him. So, and I don't think he'd really let that affect him playing for England.
Yeah, I feel like it. I don't know if it would be a bad move for him if he signed a new contract. Like he needs trophies. Like he's like quality. He needs them trophies. But is it if he did move, I would never see him. I think he would never go abroad. I think it would be stupid if he go abroad. And I feel like he would have to stay in the Prem. But yeah, just like who can afford him apart from City? But even they can't afford him in a minute.
You slot him in that City team though. I think he scores 40 goals a season.
It's a weird one. I feel like we were saying this the other day, Connor. I feel like he's just like I can't see him playing for City like the way they play. He will still score loads of goals, but I just feel like they're more suited to like a little nimble striker. But obviously,
I think Mbappe's the perfect one for City going off top.
Yeah,
he play across the whole front three, drops in. He'll be incredible for them. Yeah, Kane for me, like it's hard for him because City is the only one for me he can go to because Liverpool right now like they're going backwards a bit. He goes to Liverpool, it's like I can't see them guaranteed nailed on winning the Premier League still. Like it's such a hard one for him. Like he said, I think he'll stay as well.
It'd be a backup for Abraham if he came to us, so it's just like no point.
I think City is the only Premier League team.
Yeah. Then we missed out quite a few players we didn't even really speak about. Mentioned a couple like we'll start with Harvey Barnes. I think he's been pretty good this season. Obviously quite unlucky with his injury a few weeks ago.
The timing was
I think he was literally just kicked, like he was playing so well, but I feel like he was at that point where he was literally like he proper kicked on and was playing really well, and it's just so unlucky going to get into it. But it's just like fully fit. He's unreal, but can he get in over the likes of like Foden and that? Like,
I think the main one he was challenging was Sancho for me. I think he
of course,
was slowly like when Sancho was off form and Barnes was pinging them in at one point. Like that was one thing missing from Barnes' game for me anyway. He was playing really well last season and towards the start of this season, but his finishing wasn't brilliant. He kept getting those positions and missing a lot of really good chances. But just around the time before he got injured, he couldn't stop scoring. Good, he was scoring every other.
Oh yeah.
And then that's when Sancho was out of form, and you thought maybe he might get ahead of him, but not anymore for sure. Especially after Dortmund in the Champions League and just the way Sancho's come back a bit into it.
Yeah,
I think it's unlucky for him.
Another player in that similar position is Greenwood. I think he's not really been that great this season. I think he will be a good player, but for me, I think he sort of messed his chance up with what happened with the Iceland trip, and he hasn't been great for United this season either.
No. I feel like he's like in the same boat as like Saka. Like I would personally I wouldn't take Saka. I'm not saying he's a bad player or anything, but I just don't think.
Yeah, and if
he's at that level yet.
Consistent. He's been more consistent than Greenwood this season. So if you're not taking Saka, you're definitely not taking Greenwood.
I mean, obviously you'd see Arsenal fans argue him playing like more of like he can play as a left back as well as a left wing, but I feel like even if he was classed as a left back, he still wouldn't go over Chilwell or Shaw. We need more defensive players. No, yeah, exactly. And I don't think
unless we play five at the back, he's just not really fitting in.
Yeah, over the wingers at the minute, I can't see him getting in that team.
I just don't really know where Saka really plays, to be honest. Like,
he literally varies every game. Yeah,
like that can be a good thing. Like we've said, like with Walker can play a couple of positions, but I just think Saka's not really nailed a position better.
You still need that one position, don't you? Like you picture Walker in right centre back and at right back, and you just think, that's suits him to a T. And you look at Sancho at right wing and left wing, you're thinking, is he better as a left wing back? You're just not too sure. Like,
yeah, no, Saka's not going to play left back because he's not better than Shaw or Chilwell. He's not. He's not better than Sterling, Grealish, or Sancho, in my opinion. And he's not going to play left 10 because he's not better than Foden or Mount.
Definitely,
yeah.
Going back to Greenwood as well, like if he continued his form from the end of last season, I think he's not nailed on, but he's got a very good chance. But he started the season so poorly, especially after, like we said, the England incident, and he just hasn't been the same this season. I think like you got to give these players time to work out if the end of last season was a purple patch. Like was that him like really overperforming and having a really good end to the season, or is that how good he is? You need time to work that out. It's a bit similar to Saka, like.
Yeah,
I feel like a few players have had that. Like I know some people like same like Pulisic. Like he was like back end of last season, he was playing unreal, and then this season he's just a bit
like Barnes as well. Like was Barnes, was it a purple patch for he got injured, or was that who he is? Like you just don't really know, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Another player.
It's unlucky for him.
Yeah, they're all very unlucky, but.
Ollie Watkins as well. I think he was called up to the last camp. He scored against San Marino. I think he's a good player, but I think if you're not taking Ings, you're definitely not taking Watkins.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought another one we completely forgot about that we haven't even mentioned before starting the recording again was Bamford. Like Bamford and Watkins were in the exact same boat. Like it was between them two, weren't it, for that final slot at one point? And then it's such a hard one because they've both been so good this season.
Yeah, I feel like it's so like I think like Watkins and like Calvert-Lewin, they're like literally so similar. So it's literally like it's so hard just. Is to pick.
They all offer different things as well. Like you look at Watkins, and he runs around like a mad thing. He'll chase people down. He'll get on the end of things, and he'll link up with Grealish nicely. But you look at Bamford, and for me, Bamford's the closest thing England have to a Harry Kane. Like he's the whole reason he's in that Leeds team is to link up the wingers and stuff, isn't it? That's what Bielsa said. It's more important. His link up play is more important than his actual goals, and he still scores loads of goals. So.
Just for me, like Bamford and Watkins aren't clinical enough. I watch them play and they take 3 or 4 chances to score one goal. In the Euros, you need Kane, Calvert-Lewin. I know we've said Calvert-Lewin's a bit iffy at finishing, but you need one chance or 2 chance goal. I think Bamford misses so many chances from what I see. And Watkins as well. Like Grealish puts it on a plate for him so many times. And I don't think his finishing's amazing.
Yeah, Watkins is definitely behind Bamford. Yeah. I think, like you said, the only reason I give Bamford a chance is because he's just similar to Kane. He can link the wingers in, doesn't have to score necessarily. But is that enough to bring him to the Euros? Probably not.
I don't think so. And the fact he's never played in this team before, to then chuck him in the Euros is a bit of an ask.
Also, give him another year. Like, this is his first season in the Premier League. Like, he's not old, is he? He's still got a couple years left in him before he gets his prime.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that settles it with our squad. We on the Monday Night Football, they picked their starting 11 for the first game against Croatia. So I'll read mine and then we'll go through and pick a starting 11 as well. So I've gone for Pope in goal, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw back four, Rice and Mount in the midfield two, Foden in attacking mid, and then Sterling and Grealish either side of Kane.
That is quite close to mine.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much the same as mine, but I've got Nick Pope. I did put Reece James and right back in the back four, but it's just it's a toss up between him and Walker. But yeah, Maguire, Stones centre half, Luke Shaw left back, Rice and Mount sitting in the midfield, Phil Foden number 10, Grealish, Raheem. Grealish and Sterling either side of Kane.
Connell?
Did you put Rashford? Joe, did you say Rashford on the wing or Sterling?
I've got Sterling. I've got Rashford.
Oh, Sterling, yeah. Yeah.
I think that's slightly different. I start Pickford personally just because of Pope's recent England games. On the ball, he just looked woeful. Like, if you're watching, he scuffed the ball a few times, and that it is a big deal for a Southgate team to have a decent keeper on the ball. And Pickford's been good before his injury, so I just about go Pickford. Shaw, I think, is just a better left back. Maguire, Stones is pretty nailed on. I go Walker, just most all around. I think I would probably go with just one defensive midfielder, one out-and-out defensive midfielder, and then drop Mount further back. So that defensive midfielder for me is out of Henderson and Brighton. It's pretty 50-50. I think they're both really good options. But I'd probably go Henderson, then Mount and Grealish just in front of him. And then my front three would be the same as last World Cup and just Kane, Rashford, Sterling. I think those three didn't do anything wrong for me, if that makes sense. So give them another run together with the more options on the bench to challenge them and push them on a bit.
I am starting to come around to Rashford playing over Foden. I think the way we'll play against Croatia is they got quite good. We'll sit back and counter. I think maybe Rashford for Foden and put Grealish in the middle, but I think Rice for me has to play. I think he's been
at the minute.
Yeah,
I think
it's such a hard one because they're such different. Like, if we're going one central defensive midfielder, it's out of Henderson and Rice, obviously, and it's such a hard decision, who you pick out them to, because Henderson's more of a leader. He's won trophies, probably not necessarily a better player, and like you said, Rice has just been incredible. So it's so hard.
And for me, Henderson's barely played midfield this season, and Rice and Mount are best mates. So stick that midfield together. I think they got chemistry as well.
Yeah, no, I'd happily go Rice over Henderson. It's good to have Henderson in the squad, full stop, to be honest. Doesn't have to play necessarily.
Yeah.
I'd like in the 4-3-3. I like it if Rice playing obviously playing CDM defense, and then Mount and Foden as centre mids, but just Foden just pushes on a bit more. And
that's the same as what I've done, but with Grealish. I'd rather have Grealish in that kind of midfield. I think for me, Foden's better out wide, and Grealish is better for the middle than the other way around. I think Grealish is better there.
Runs off Kane that Rashford would, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I feel like
it's just attacking wise, there's just so many good options. I think our defense is way more similar.
If you had to pick, what players from our teams there, would be 100% cemented in that squad at the minute. Personally, I think Maguire, Stones, Shaw,
centre backs. Yeah.
I think Mount has to be in there for anyone's team, and I think Kane and Grealish, as in for anyone, they should really be in there. Just start 11
centre backs
for all the games.
The left back's harsh, to be fair, on Chilwell, because he has been consistent. I think
playing every week. Chelsea, Shaw's been playing it every week for United. For me,
I mean, watching the Brighton United game the other day, Shaw was probably their best player. He just doesn't put a foot wrong, that man, at the moment. Covers the balls he played as well.
6 players nailed on: Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Mount, Grealish, Kane.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So then we got Pickford. So I'll make a note of those 3. And then for me, I think Rice has to play. I've been really in the season. I think he's just...
Yeah, no, I'd happily go Rice. I've literally put in my team. The only position I was 50-50 about was Henderson and Rice. That was the only one.
Yeah, so that's...
And I feel from this season as well, I think Rice, he looks just so much more comfortable on the ball as well. I know, like he's not like he's going to be panicking when playing that CDM role. Like
it might be irrelevant with his injury now though, if his surgery goes slightly iffy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Just fingers crossed he can just get fit as soon as possible.
Yeah, I was saying like his passing and dribbling's got so much better this season, and because West Ham have just been better, he's had more chance to show what he can do on the ball.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, some of his bits of kind of driving with the ball have been just so different from last season. From last season, everyone called him like a bit more of a backwards and sideways kind of player, and that's what I think was a bit of his one of his only criticisms. But now he's getting the ball and driving 20 yards past 3 players. You can't say that at all. Like.
I mean, did you see that run against Arsenal? He fucking drove about 70 yards.
Mm. He's definitely coming along very nicely.
I think Sterling probably starts as well, just because I know he'll probably
overall his quality. I just think it's undeniable. Like he's been around the game for ages now.
Scores goals.
With Guardiola trained.
Because if you play Grealish scores goals, but not like a winger or forward. So I think that goal scorer.
What formation are we going to play then? 4-3-3?
I think 4-3-3, yeah.
It's similar to a 4-2-3-1, isn't it? It's not much difference between the two of them.
Yeah. So at the moment we got, I'd say, Shaw, Maguire, Stones, Rice, Mount, Kane, Sterling, Grealish.
Where are we playing Grealish in the front 3 or 4? Or are we dropping him back?
I'd go Grealish on the left of the midfield 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've gone with.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is the most controversial one. If we're going to fill the attack out, is Rashford or Foden for me, or even Sancho, because I've seen so many different kind of combinations up there. Rashford's the one that always seems to miss out on people's teams.
I'd go I think you've convinced me, Connor. I'll go Rashford left, Sterling right, because I think Foden he's quite a good impact sub. He's quite similar to Grealish. I don't know if they'd sort of get in each other's way.
That's a good point actually. Yeah, they're not like really pacey players. They're more kind of creative. They obviously are both quite quick, but they're not Rashford quick.
Kane, I think, with creating behind would just be.
Also, another thing that gives Rashford the edge for me, like I like, and Sterling as well. Actually, I kind of like having the little link ups over the pitch. Like you look at the old England teams over the years, like they all hated each other. That's the reason why they never won anything really in the most simple way possible. Like Lampard and Gerrard, obviously different teams, like stuff like that. Whereas this team, if you look at the team, you've got Stones and Walker playing next to each other, which is why Walker gets an advantage for me. You've got Walker, and if you play Walker, you've got Walker and Sterling. You've got Maguire and Shaw next to each other. And you've got Shaw and Rashford, who have been on fire this season together. Every time you watch Rashford and Shaw together, just look brilliant for me. Like again against Brighton the other day, Rashford looked like one of the United's best players in a very good game. Yeah. And that was but partly due to Shaw, because those two together are just so good. Like, and like you said, with Rice as well, being really good friends. Like, it's looking good. There's a lot of like kind of partnerships going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I was going to say, that I think it's not even just like people, players playing for the same club as well. Literally, like Mount and Rice being like friends since early on. Like it just makes such a difference. Like,
you saw how tight knit the group was on the World Cup as well. And that's without a lot of the partnerships I just named. Like a lot of them are quite new, like newer. Sorry, with Shaw coming back, especially.
No, yeah, exactly.
I think for me, Walker right back, because he's got a link with Sterling, Stones. He's played a lot of games there for England. I love Reece James, but he's never played a game for England. So
Reece James is definitely unlucky to miss out, I think. But Walker's just got Walker. They're very similar players to me. They're both very strong, good at recovering. I think James has got a lack of concentration in.
I'd give James a game against Scotland or Czech Republic, but I think that.
That first game, yeah.
So we agreed on Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Rice, Mount, Grealish, Sterling, Kane, Rashford.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, and it's just I think literally it's like the keepers are so hard. As in, like they've all played quite well, and obviously like Pickford.
I don't think Henderson's quite to the standard. I think he's had a bit less game time. At Sheffield United, he looked unbelievable, and I think he has struggled a bit with the pressure of Man United. Like I think he relayed into the Brighton game the other day, but like one of our strategies against him was just to launch it in on Henderson, and he was just panicky. He was so panicky. He's flapping at a lot of like crosses. I just think he hasn't quite settled down into like a big club, kind of big country, same thing, kind of role, if that makes sense, like being that kind of presence. Whereas Pickford's just a nutter, isn't he? He's absolutely mental. He doesn't feel the pressure at all somehow. Like,
I mean, if he does what he did to Van Dijk on like probably Modric or something like that, then that'd be cool.
It is. Don't get me wrong. Pickford hasn't been brilliant. Like he's got howlers in him, but I'd happily go Pope ahead of him. But I think if you look at kicking and you look at experience and just that kind of, you know, playing for a big country and a big club, I think Pickford's just got that over Pope as well as Henderson.
I think literally like after like the Colombia game, like that penalty save, like I feel like
he was incredible. He couldn't have been better in that World Cup.
No, I think he like kicked on properly from then. Even he was good at Sunderland, but since then I think everyone just like liked him as well. Like obviously apart from Liverpool fans, but no one cares about him. But like, I think he's a very good keeper. So it's just going to be hard.
Pope out now.
No, I feel like it could be Pickford, to be fair, but literally it's like it's like one of them ones that I wouldn't be disappointed if Pickford started or if Pope started. Like I really wouldn't mind.
Pope for Burnley is like a different beast compared to what I saw in the England games the other day. Like he has less to do and he's got more kicking, and he didn't look as good and as like he didn't look like the presence he is at Burnley. I don't know what it's about. It's just a weird one.
For me, I think it depends on the game. First game, I would pick Pope because we'll face more shots. They'll have more of the ball. For the Scotland and Czech Republic games, I'll go Pickford because we'll have more of the ball kicking. But I think because of it depends on the game for me. Like I would personally say Pope's going to be a better shot stopper in those games.
I feel like I kind of agree with you for Croatia as well because I feel like they don't really they have a lot of height going forward as well. So I feel like they could just like end up just like flooding the box at some stages as well. And
I just worry about the mental side of the game with Pope. I think he's a better keeper than Pickford, but mentally, I think Pickford's just a lot stronger, to be honest. But I'd happily go Pope in a game or two. Yeah, he's a great keeper. Don't get me wrong.
I would put my vote for first game Pope and then back to Pickford. I don't know.
I literally don't mind, to be honest. I think literally both for me. Like
I'd probably go Pickford every game, to be honest. Like just because they're such big games, like I said.
I think it's hard for a keeper as well because I wouldn't want like the keeper changing every other game. So I feel like if Pickford did start and then did play well against Croatia, I feel like then he just not gets dropped but don't play against Scotland, and it's just.
I mean that was such an important part of the World Cup as well. Like you knew what team was going to play, give or take one player. Like.
I think go with Pickford because in a tournament you can't really change around the goalie, and if Pope does have a shocker like in that first game, it will just sort of mess the team around.
His head's gone off a bit since he's been mentioned for England. I feel like I don't know if you've noticed. I think the Southampton game, I think a couple of those goals I think he could have done better in. It might be being harsh, but the Nick Pope I knew like earlier in the season was just unbeatable. You can get a shot past him, but he's gone off it a bit recently.
Burnley. But no, I think that's a very good squad that we've made up there. Very good team.
Yeah, definitely.
So 4-3-3, Pickford, Walker, Stones, Maguire, Shaw, Rice sitting, Grealish left of midfield, Mount on the right of midfield, Sterling right wing, Rashford left wing, Kane up front.
Yeah, that's the exact team I've got, but I think I had Henderson just over Rice, but that's so 50-50.
The only thing I'm worried about, I don't know if you feel the same, but like, do you actually think like Southgate will come out and play a 4-3-3, or do you think he's known as obviously going and playing a 5 back in the tournament? So do you think he'll go for that?
That's the team I want, but I don't think that team will play.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like most people go.
He played 5 back in the friendlies, didn't he, or the qualifiers, or did he play?
I think he played all 4 at the back in the friendlies. Just the qualifiers just come up, so
well, that's promising.
It's hard. It's promising. I guess he's just trying out and see it, but I mean, I think it could be different for every game. I feel like where like Czech Republic and like Scotland are like a bit dodgy. Like I think we can just attack them. As with Croatia, they'll be more on us quite a bit. So
yeah, he'll definitely mix it up.
Yeah. Well,
I
think that's pretty good squad and team. We'll put it out on social media, get a poll going with that. And so here is our final squad that we decided on as a 3. Few arguments about who should make it in, but we eventually came to this squad. Let us know what you think of it on social media, on my Instagram, in the comments below. And this is the starting 11 for the first game against Croatia that me, Connor and Bud decided on. Went with a 4-3-3, and we decided about 9 of the players all between us, and then there was a few disagreements for the last couple, but we did come to this 11. Again, let us know what you think about it on social media and in the comments.